What's up, y'all? Can't do this without the cat. There we go. Hey here, cat. What are you doing? Cat was all off writing some notes to himself. Cat keeps a journal. I can't read it. It's written in his language. One day we'll decipher what he's talking about. It's a live recording. I'll give you that. Live recording of Noxus, live at Joe's. I'm not sure, but I think I have everything from Noxus. I don't know, but I've got a lot of their stuff. It's weird as I have this album. I have that album, and there's a live songs to go with it. So, yeah, that's super fantastic. I love Noxus. That is one of my new favorite bands. Oh, this is just this. It's just one little thing. Anyways, got this, what was it? Dead by Dog. Oh shit. There's word of a Dead by Dog too. Oh my goodness. I will say this, for just me personally, I mean, I'm sure no matter who he gets, it's going to be interesting. Just by what we know of the guy. But for me personally, topping Evil Army and Malignancy, and then having Attic with such an amazing performance. I was blown away, having no real thoughts of Merciful Fate, King Diamond, let alone Attic. I mean, I've listened to all of those, but it never hit anything for me, so I just kind of was like, okay, that's cool, but I don't listen to it. But the Attic set was worth it. If somebody said, come in and watch this performance, and you just happened in off the street, let's say you're a metalhead, just happened on by the street, and you just saw that performance, but yeah, I may not dig the sound, but that was a good show. I mean, because it was such a good show. And I got Evil Army and Malignancy. Damn, now he's already talking about it too. Yeah. Cat, what we got? Ooh, we're going to continue that metal, occult rituals and music, and how metal should... What do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about that? Crazy shit. Fenris Wolf, 6069. Fenris Wolf, I think I've seen you in the comments before. Familiar, name like that. Fenris Wolf says, I shook off the spiritual tyranny of the desert gods when I was young. Not a fan of my head and heart being caged by lies. I admire your enthusiasm. 100%. Especially the part of shaking off spiritual tyranny. There is a lot of that going on. But I think we're quick to blame other people and not look at the bad things we've done over the course of our lives. You know, sometimes we're like pointing out the flaws of another person, but I'm not acknowledging our own flaws. I'm not pointing you out or saying this to you or about you, Fenris Wolf, but it reminds me, hey, let's make sure we acknowledge our own sins before pointing out the sins of others, because it doesn't make you any better or less than the other person. And we want to be better than the other guy. How's he act? Cool. Don't do that. You already look cooler by just comparison. It's like, well, this dude does this and this dude does that. Who would you hang out with? You'd hang out with the cool dude. Or at least the cooler dude. Who's like, he's not talking shit about people. Karmic balance, y'all. It's going around, smacking the face. Now, can shit talk be warranted? Damn straight it can. But just a constant level of talking shit about another group while not acknowledging your own sins. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. I continue with Fenris Wolf. Again, Fenris Wolf, that was not directed at you. I just wanted to say it. It's sad because I admire your enthusiasm. Is what I'm trying to also say here. I admire you for having this passion. That's what's sorely lacking. Continuing, it's sad because the real old stuff from the Middle East is really cool and interesting. Oh wait, see, look, I'm going to compliment you too. So that's cool. That's so cool that you say stuff like that. But they all had cult wars, and Judaism kind of won. Yeah, there was some fighting over religions and who would be the dominant religion in the Middle East for a long fucking time. It sort of just kept that vibe going, you know. It was like Judaism won, then Christianity won, then Muhammad comes along, and now, well, it is tiresome. We will agree on that part. Who'd have thought a war god would win a war? So you realize that Yahweh is a war god. Yeah, Yahweh is a war god, and he won a war where the other gods were killed. In fact, there was Zoroastrian or something. It may not be Zoroastrian, but it was another group like that. Or some other kind of strange pagan religion that wasn't like one of the mainstream ones. And when the Christians found them with their Christian armies, they were like, oh yeah, we've heard prophecy of the one God that's going to slay all the other gods. And they said that to Christians as they were just like shield and sword going through, like, any pagans want to fight? Ding, 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 because we'll fucking fight. And pagans would run out to fight them, and it was oftentimes bloody. And Christians seemed to love it. They seem to love doing that. I admire a guy who goes out with a sword and shield. I don't admire the guy with a car bomb. That's all I'm saying. The dude with a sword and shield is legit. The guy with hidden tactics is not legit. Truth will always win out. I'm just having fun, Fennersville. This is not directed at you. Now I focus on the real mythology of my pagan roots. Nothing wrong with studying mythology. My wife, Mrs. Cattleprod, is a mythology person. She doesn't have a degree in it, but she's got a passion for it, and thereby I'm interested in mythology from all places and learning all about that, because in that we will find truth. So I'm rather but I feel too rebellious in my nature to commit any religion. That's why I'm satanic in virtue at this point, because of the rebellion. And that's why metal looks and sounds the way it does, because the first thing you get is that rebellion. I'm going to go into it. I admire that passion. That's exactly what humans need. We need that. We need you. But and he's over here, but I'm like satanic-ish, satanic-adjacent pagan. That's cool. We need you. Humans need you. What if they're Christian? Are they human? Humans need you. What if they follow Islam? Humans need you. That kind of passion, that kind of like, let's go out there and say no just to say no. Let's start something. We show the other humans that we're willing to go to the edge. And Fenris Wolf, you're kind of like you might be that kind of guy, or you have it in you to do that. Like, the mind's there or the heart's there, and they're just a matter of syncing those two up, synchronicity, Micah, syncing those two things up to where they're now an unstoppable force. But sometimes your head's in a place that your heart isn't, and your heart isn't in a place that your head is. That happened to me. That was the club life for me, the MC life. My head was in that game. I treated that like the most serious damn thing ever. My heart wasn't in it, but I figured if I did it long enough, my heart would line up with my brain. And while I had a lot of heart, it wasn't syncing up with that brain. And then the brain started rebelling against everything it saw. And that is the story of me, the guy you're listening to. That has been my life. My heart and my mind never truly line up. And when they do, for brief moments, it's beautiful because you're an unstoppable force. I love Noxus. Live at Joe's. Oh, it's so fucking badass. Okay, back to Fenrir's Wolf. Though when I say it, I don't mean I worship Satan. The basic values of Satanism are rebellion, strength, and individuality are what's important to me. And those are what are important to you. Well, on the rebellion and the strength, individuality, I agree with you. But I think that's Satanism has its roots in humanism. There's a psychological school of thought called humanism. And it was just obeying to the human, not say whims, but I'm hungry, I must eat. I'm thirsty, I must drink. I'm tired, I must sleep. And how you deal with other humans is based on your ease of acquiring those basic needs. Your ease of acquiring basic needs will put you in a certain mindset. If it's super easy and super accessible, you have a whole positive mindset. You feel great. Even though you don't consciously say you do. Now, there's different schools of psychology. Obviously, that goes on so much further, but those are the basics of humanism. Satanism, Anton LaVey and shit, he was a humanist of that. He took a psych course. He took Psych motherfucking 101 and some creative writing courses. I said it, Anton LaVey. While a great author, I did enjoy reading what I read of the Satanic Bible. I'm like, the dude has a flow, he's concise, and he has a flow, and he has a point. Those are the three things. You've got to be concise, you got to have a flow, and there needs to be a point. Why am I here? You want to create anything. That's what you should be looking at. Now, I look at art and music a lot. What's that style, what's that flow, what's that point? Noxus is so badass. So, we agree, but sometimes not perfect. It's like we're parallel or something. Hey, we're going to the same place. You got different trains to get us there or something. Yeah. Metal is probably the most pagan ritual we have nowadays. Yep, I'll give you that. Between the music, the lyrics, the culture all around it, and the dancing, the slam dancing, the moshing, and all that shit, that physical prowess, and some dudes who can't get in the pit all the time, they just get jacked up. They get into martial arts, and they start hitting weights and shit like that. They're all fucking jacked up bodies. When I was younger, I didn't work out. I had a manual labor job, and I was in mosh pits, and I danced with women. I was pretty physically fit. It wasn't until I stopped doing such intense manual labor and started not dancing and moshing heartily to the point of nothing. But now I'm like real old and moshing's... Anyways, off of me. It's just today... it's just today's paganism is many ways, and if that scares away others. Good, yeah, just the intensity, obviously the imagery. Yeah, it's also meant to shock and awe. It's also meant to scare most, I don't know what that is. Some people will shy away from that. 100%. They'll look at a mortician shirt and be like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. If they look at the picture, they'll look at the picture and be like, I really don't want to know. And we're the kind of people that are just perverse in that way where hey, what is that? But some of us look at the angular lines or the color contrast, and that catches our eye. So, a lot of times it's just that. Again, occultism, lines and shapes, colors and contrasts. Bitterswolf continues, I don't think most bands feel the need to hurt any of their fans during shows, no matter the stage show. Yeah, I actually hear more about rap shows hurting people than anything else. That's what happened to El Corazon in Seattle. People at a rap show launching lead through barrels, and they lost their liquor license. Yeah, dude, yeah, when they're having to, fight. And punk rock. That happened to punk rock and hardcore punk. Hey, harder core than now, man. They started, shows just became battlegrounds. In the mid-'80s. Hell, that shit was still continuing into the 90s. Some people just couldn't let it go. It was less widespread, but it still occurred. Metal's had its ups and downs, but usually in metal, it's resigned to a city. Maybe a state, depending on the state, depending on the cities. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks about those rap shows having to be hardcore than out and punk doing it. That's the balance. You always have to find a fucking balance, guys. That's what the game's kind of all about in your life. Your personal life is balancing. I mean, think about your time. What are you doing? Balancing work and fun. And then there's all that shit in between. It can fuck you up. You're balancing that. Now you're trying to balance another thing. My thoughts are, once you're once you're not even good at it, but sometimes if you start balancing multiple things at a time, you don't think all the time about every thing. You think a little bit. My day, I think a little bit about, I need to do these things. And then throughout the day, it's like I start thinking about a whole other batch of things. So you just kind of keep those batches in your mind. It's sometimes easier to juggle than to balance. You know what I mean? Does anybody feel like that's possible? Like juggling a bunch of shit is way easier than just trying to balance a couple things. I don't know. Metaphysical talk. Comment down below if you got anything to say. I always love hearing from you guys. This is an interactive conversation. I'm the one putting myself out there on the spot. Inhuman Micah. Guys, I asked Micah a question. Kind of the ones that we've been answering here about the pagan rituals and music. And how they felt about any of that stuff. And Micah put out a video. It's like 12 minutes long or something. I watched it and commented on it. I'm not going to read you the comment here. This is just a reminder that, that happened. So if you get a chance, Mike is out there who went one step further than a comment and just had to make a video about it. And, there's good points in there. Totally good points. That's my comment. So, yeah, interactive conversation, y'all. It's awesome. But Micah also has another thing. Talking about games here for a second. Oh, no, this has a point. I prefer older games like Fallout New Vegas with the grit and brutality. It's an amazing game. Especially with the mod scene. With the grit and the brutality at the end, yeah. I should say you would, as me, would be a great con for sure. I played that vids on my channel, it's on that video, about cult Satanism, me, and my spiritual thoughts. Rambling because of nervousness, filming, yes and no edits. It's starting with cattle prod in the title. You rock, you're like the second most insane man in town. Second most. I'll take it. Yeah, I'd be a great con. I couldn't be Caesar's Legion. Caesar's Legion was just too fanciful. I believe it would happen, but I believe it's too fanciful. The NCR seems possible. Like, if that happened, I would not be surprised. Desert Rangers, and these dudes usually went around on foot in the desert, and like they would just run up on you and mess you up. I believe that because that happened in the real Wild West. Desert Rangers, man. They weren't called Desert Rangers, but they were just bandits and thieves and just ne'er-do-wells, and the cops went out and hunted them down. Yeah, I see that one happening. The Great Khans, yeah, I see the Great Khans, a realistic one. Tribals. They're probably former motorcycle club people, bar brawler types. Was mixed in, just descendants of those people, just tough as nails. I'd be a great con. Well, yeah, I mean, that's metal and bikers. That's not far off from, the great cons. But thank you, Micah. And thank you for the video. That actually, I got some stuff out of it. Yeah, I get you were nervous, but you got your points across. Or at least I think you did, and that's why I commented, because if that's what we're talking about, yeah, I get you. You. Anyways, that was Noxus. Live at Joe's. Mentioned I got that from Brian Baxter of Bladed Records. He had that for sale. He had a stack of things for sale. I just bought a dumbass amount of shit. I just scooped up a bunch of shit. And I was like, oh, need that one. Oh, need that one. Someone was like, I don't know. Yes, I would like it, but I don't know if I want it right now. And then I'm halfway through the box, and I'm like, okay, I want this, and this, and this. Then how much for that? So, Cattle Pride, Appalachian Warlord. Yeah, have a great one. See you next time.